This thing on? Hello? Hello? What's up? First time, long time. Yeah, thing still works. What's up, everybody? Lots to talk about tonight. Phillies make the trade that everybody was looking for. Delco Steve is here. Delco Dad of the Year, Delco Steve. If you were looking for social media activity from Delco Steve, you found it. Just give him a baby boy. What's up, Delco Steve?
What up? Long time no see.
Yeah, man.
I'm all discombobulated over here now.
That's okay.
It's like I forgot what I was doing.
All right, so listen, we got a lot to talk about, including Delco Dad Steve, my future in the broadcasting industry, or working for Uber Eats or DoorDash. I do get for whatever reason, because I read DoorDash on Reddit, on a subreddit for DoorDash drivers, is like it never ends. It's great. So I don't know how I think at one point during my unemployment, I'm like, hey, I think I'm going to work for DoorDash. And I started looking on Reddit, like, all right, like how much money can I really make? And very quickly I was like, okay, I'm not working for DoorDash.
Dude, I could never. Someone gave us like an Uber Eats gift card and I got tropical smoothie. Supposed to have 3 smoothies in it, only got 2, and one of them had like a hole punctured in the side of it. I'm just like, okay, like obviously the store didn't give it to you with a hole punctured in the side of it. So like I'm supposed to tip you $10 for, driving all over the place. Like I understand why they make no money sometimes.
There's way too much going on. I could like you if it's like, and you know what it is like then when you're like thinking about it, and then when you go, so like I'll go to like PF Chang's. Listen, I go to chain restaurants. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm not some bougie. Like, so I'll go to like PF Chang's to get takeout, and like I'm waiting, and then 2 other people are waiting, and it's like, Jesus, it's been a half hour. Well, actually, that happened to be a Pizza Hut. We'll talk about that later. But it's like, yeah. So it's like, like, oh, they're DoorDash drivers. So it's like, okay, so they're like walking in, everybody, they're always on their phone, or like the Instacart people at the grocery store. Now I know how to spot the Instacart people because I looked into that too. So anyway, my future, is it in my parents?
That's actually what you should do, the Instacart shopper, because you love the coupon shopping.
Yeah, man. But even looking into that, it's like, no, man, no, I can't.
You just like bopping all over the place. Sorry, go ahead, continue.
No, I don't. Yeah, but the Instacart shoppers, like they'll have like 39 items on their list, and to see them flying around the grocery store, like literally with their hair on fire so they can make the delivery to get the other delivery. That's just not my life, man. I just can't do it. Can't do it. You know what? You know what I would do? I would drive Uber, because I can at least like drive, and you can have
conversations at your own pace.
And yeah. You just drive. Like if you want to be on your own pace during DoorDash, you ain't gonna make any money because people want their food hot.
Yep, hot and ready.
Hot and ready and steady, Eddie. All right, so the Phillies make a trade. They get the closer that everybody wanted. Everybody wanted. Uh-oh. I just got an alert that my blood sugar is going to get low. No, I know. All right, so here's where Delco Steve has to hold the conversation. You put some comments up. Delco Steve, go. Go ahead.
All right. Well, as John was alluding to, Phillies made a trade, gave up Mick Abel, and I don't even know who the other prospect is. Catcher, our number 6 ranked prospect, apparently. The Vince definitely missed the piano. Way better than his current background. But yeah, no. So apparently, my buddy texted me early talking about how the scout that found this catching prospect was the same they had found Ranger and Chooch. So expect them to be a stud. I have no idea if that is actually going to be true or not, but hey, screw it. We'll go with it. Yeah, he was 3 years away, as Oz put it. He was 19 and I don't know, low A or high A, something like that. But no, that would be, I think, would be very helpful. We were talking about Laureano possibly from the Orioles. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce his name. But yeah, glad you're back. Glad you didn't keel over.
Dynamite stuff. So Jhoan Duran. Go ahead. These shows are always like this.
What did you go and get? That's the better question.
Granola bar. Okay.
Nah, not a granola
Nature
bar.
Valley. No. It's delicious. So, we thought to the trade, man.
Dude, 27-year-old with 2 years of arbitration for only Mick Abel and a catcher I've never heard of. I like it.
It's a no-brainer.
I swore he was a free agent after this year when I saw all that. That's all we gave up. I know it was just like, and then my buddy said, nope, 2 years of arbitration.
So he's controllable. He won't make a ton of money. You see what relief pitchers are worth on the open market, and he'll end up making that probably in like the last year of arbitration. But he throws 101, 102. He's got elite stuff, and he's going to be here for the next 2 years. He can't, he's not going anywhere. So for a team that's trying to win right now, trying to win the World Series, they're pot committed. It's a no-brainer. It hurts because, like you had said, the catcher that no one knew anything about, fair enough. But I would have traded Aiden Miller before I would have traded Eduardo Tait. He is a 18-year-old. He's played all this season at Single A. He just got moved up to Jersey Shore High A like 2 weeks ago. He is a hitter and has a strong arm. And when I say he's a hitter, he's got potential to hit 20 plus home runs a year as a catcher. He is it hurts to lose him. Abel, you have a surplus of arms.
Yeah, Abel was I feel like was an easy give up.
Yeah, for sure. And
so
for like the Twins, they look at it and are like, damn, a young former first round draft pick starter. Absolutely, that's what we want. He may be the co-headliner of this. Make no mistake about it. The Phillies elected to trade Tait over Crawford and Aiden Miller. And I'm not surprised that that's what they did. Crawford's going to be a starter next year in the outfield. He's ready. He's major league ready right now. He's still, I think he's hitting 325 in AAA, so he's ready. Although when
all singles on the ground.
When you look at the skills, you're right. But he's got elite speed, and they're hoping he develops into an extra base hitter, doubles and triples more than he's doing right now. And Aiden Miller, they still think he's going to be like a star. I'd be really surprised if he was anything more than a average to above average starter. He's a former first round draft pick. Yeah, I'm not saying he's a bum or anything like that. Playing the catcher position, like you look at JT Realmuto, JT's stats, if you look at his batting stats, at least, they're never like super duper impressive. But because he plays the catcher position and he's really good defensively, that's what made him an elite catcher. Cal Raleigh, no one's seen a catcher hit like this. This is
insane.
Nobody. This is Piazza steroid days, what he's doing this year. But yeah, so Tait has a chance to be an all-star level catcher. He's also 18 and playing in A ball, right?
So a million things could happen in the next few years.
Yeah, I don't think they will. I would have traded Aiden Miller, but overall, this is a no-brainer. They needed a closer. They needed a guy that was going to be controllable for the next couple of years. He's not a rental, so you gave up 2 of your top 5 prospects to do it, and they did. And it burns with Tait because this is going to be a guy you look back, but it's something that you had to do. I mean, really, if you want to beat up on Dombrowski, and I'm fine doing that, if he didn't shit the bed in the offseason with what he did in free agency, yeah, I mean, Kepler sucks, and Romano was the move that was supposed to be the closer. Now, Alvarado killed you because of the steroid suspension, and that's not Dombrowski's fault, but he went.
The shit thing about that is it's just that it kills the playoffs. It's like, all right, great, you lose him for 80 games. If he got hurt and you lost from 80 games, you wouldn't even care. But it's the fact that it's like, cool, he's going to be back for the end of the season, and then you're just like, here's just another giant hole in your bullpen again.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously Romano didn't pan out at all, so that's 2 duds out of, and let Hoffman walk. So 3 out of 4 potential guys that you could have had are all either gone or terrible.
Yeah, but so by the way, I'm allowed to prefer to trade somebody else than who they traded. I'm not saying they shouldn't have done the trade, because they obviously should have done the trade. They had no choice. I would have traded Aiden Miller. By the way, he's in high A ball. He's one level behind Aiden Miller. Aiden Miller has sucked this year. He's hit 230, and he's young, playing at Double A. So for all that, like, I saw John Kincaid saying, like, hey, all the contrarians. He said this on Twitter. All the contrarians are complaining that for a guy they never watched. I've paid attention to Taiit last year at 17 years old. He played in Clearwater. He was in low A last year, and he was impressive last year, and he's been impressive this year. So he's one level behind. He's one level behind Aiden Miller. Keep that in mind.
Was he an international prospect signing sort of thing?
Yep, not a lot of
obviously
money.
since 17, since like they're all kids that those guys sign. Didn't we just sign like a Cuna's like little brother who's like 13?
14, yeah. Yeah.
Like that's weird to me.
It's wild how you're able to do that with the international players, but yeah, so he spent.
So is this like kind of like the same idea as what's happened with the Cuna's little brother?
Yeah, he played for their Dominican team when he was 16. Last year he split between he played in the field complex, which is the old Gulf Coast League. So they just play like they play the Yankees a lot, and they play some of the other teams that were in the old Gulf Coast League. And then they bumped him up to Clearwater late in the season. And then this year he started in Clearwater, which is low A ball. And just 2 weeks ago, they moved him up to high A. And I thought he's hit like 2 something or whatever. He had a good game earlier today. But yeah, so yeah, like it's again, he's in the lower minors. He's a one level behind Aiden Miller. They look at Aiden Miller and they think he's going to be a better prospect. I don't know. Maybe they preferred. Maybe the Twins preferred.
Yeah, maybe the Twins didn't even want to do the trade with if it was Miller.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Like I said, it burns because I really think he's going to be a great player, but it's a no-brainer. They did not trade Andrew Painter. The stories you saw yesterday were the Phillies were not trading Painter. The Twins were saying, no, we have to have Painter. So they moved off of that because they're getting a starting pitching former first-round draft pick they can put in the rotation today. So it's a good move for the Twins. And the Phillies get the closure that they need.
They also just traded a couple starting pitchers anyways, so they're going to need guys in the rotation to finish out the year anyway.
They're rebuilding.
Yeah.
They're getting rid of. They're rebuilding. Hopefully it's going to be maybe not a rebuild, but a retool with some young players. But I'm excited. I am. They needed it. I'm ready to go on a run here. So he'll be here. Like the thing last year that sucked about Estevez was he was a rental. And they didn't resign him. Now, if they would have resigned him, they might not have had to redo this. They might not have had to make this trade, and you could have used the prospects to get a significant bat in the outfield or a third base or something like that. But with Bohm being here, I don't think it was realistic that they were going to make a move for Suarez or anything like that.
Yeah, I never thought. Could you imagine an outfield of Schwarber / Harper, and then Castellanos and March or Rojas to accommodate getting Suarez? That would have been brutal.
So as far as what do they do next, trade deadline tomorrow, I don't think you're going to see a major move for an outfielder or a bat. That maybe like a
Austin Hayes type trade last year.
Yeah. Well, yes. Hopefully better than that, but yes, but that type of a move. Yeah. Like that type of a move.
Would you take the Austin Hayes that's playing this year for the Reds?
He's better than the Austin Hayes that played for the Phillies last year.
Yes. 100%. Could you imagine if they traded him at the deadline again?
Only if they traded a really elite prospect for him. That would be awesome. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. So I think you're going to see I don't think you're going to see a blockbuster for an outfielder. So that's my opinion on that. And you know what? Like, would I like to see an impact bat? Of course, but they're kind of pigeonholed into their team right now, right?
Yeah, they really don't have any roster flexibility with Harper / Schwarber first base, DH / one outfield position. It's like, what are you going to do? You're going to tank your whole defense if you start moving these guys around like too crazy.
Yeah, I did see the offense today, and I want an impact bat. I think you're going to have to wait till the offseason to get that, or you're not going to get it. I just what impact bat are you bringing in? I know a lot of people said Quan from the Indians. I just don't see it as a fit. They're going to want too much for him. He's an all-star, and he's a good player, but he's also
he's 20. He's like 27 too,
20,
as well.
27. He's a left-handed bat, which you really don't need another left-handed bat, do you? Right? Like, because Crawford's a left-handed bat. He's going to be here. Like, you're not trading for a rental. So you're going to have to, like, if you're going to trade for Quan, guess who you're giving up? Aiden Miller or Painter, which you're not going to do. And, like, you would probably move because he plays left field.
He plays left.
You would have to bring
left and center.
So if you traded, because if I'm a team that's going to trade, like I actually would want somebody that can play in the majors right now. And as much as a lot of people look at when they look at the Phillies and they're like, all right, well, you're saying you need an outfield bat or you need a bat in large part because Rojas isn't really doing a whole hell of a lot. Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with that. But so, I mean, are you bringing up Crawford now and you're putting him in center field but he's left-handed. So who are your right-handed bats? Castellanos, okay, in right field. And everybody else is a left-handed hitter. You need more balance to the lineup.
If you get Boom when he comes back as well. At JT.
Luis Robert is the guy. And
that's who you want?
Well, I think that's realistic based on because he's kind of a rental too. He has two team options for $20 million in each of the next 2 years. And ain't nobody picking up that option. So it's really a rental. He's got no value. He doesn't have a ton of value.
Yeah, he's tanked his value over the last couple of years playing like absolute dog shit.
Well, and by the way, like he sucks. So if you're expecting him to come in and save the team, I agree that he could come in this lineup and in this locker room with Schwarber and Harper, et cetera. He could probably he would have better results than he did in Chicago. But still, what this lineup needs is a good hitter. He's not a good hitter.
He's batting like 7th in their lineup.
Like, he's a high strikeout, low walk. I know he's put up numbers in previous years, but you know what he is at this point? I'm guessing a fastball, and if I find it and I connect, it could be a home run. He's not a good hitter.
He's boom or bust.
He's not a good hitter. So and you can bring him in. He doesn't have to start every game, and he could balance with Crawford coming up and playing center field. So that's intriguing because then if you trade Rojas in a trade like that, Chicago gets back a young, controllable center fielder that can start right now. And then you would have to give him maybe another prospect on top of that. Like you wouldn't have to give I'm not giving up top prospect for him. I think that makes your team potentially better. But so like those are the kind of
I don't think taking Rojas off this team is gonna kill you one way or another. So if you take the swing with Robert and it doesn't work, it's just like okay, it's
yeah. So like there's a lot of dots that are being connected with the Phillies, and there's a lot of talk the Phillies are in on them. I believe it, and it's a move that would make a lot of sense if you don't have to give up a lot and realize that this guy's not a savior, man. He could come here and he could be good. I know who was it that was talking about it that played with him last year? The reliever Banks. Was saying that he's a good player and he could really benefit from being with Schwarber and Harper and a veteran lineup. So
definitely a better ballpark for him here instead of Chicago.
Let's go. So Phillies do lose 2-3 to Chicago, to the White Sox. Awesome.
Dude, they're on a tear right after the All-Star break. Worst team in baseball. What? They're 8 or second to worst team in the baseball, and they're 8-3 since the All-Star break.
Yeah, are they now 24-25 in their last 49 or something like that, or they're 25-25 in their last 50?
I didn't even know they were doing that well. I just saw the streak they've been on since the All-Star break, just being like, yeah, those are a lot of big money lines that could have been cashed if you were paying attention, and I was not.
Yeah, let me see. Well, I'm not talking about the White Sox. I'm talking about the Phillies.
Oh, Phillies.
So, and they won a game and they lost. No, that's my bad. They won a game and they lost the game. So they're either 24-25 or 25-25 in the 2 months since the start of June. Since the start of June, they're right at 500, which is pretty much exactly what they did last year. They were very ordinary after the All-Star break, and we kept telling ourselves they're gonna flick the switch, and they didn't. And then they went into the playoffs and they pretty much lost the Mets, and nobody was surprised they lost to the Mets. So a closer will help, but
Yeah, I mean, honestly, how many games? Their record's probably at 5-6 games better if they had competent bullpen at this point in the season.
Here's the reality, and Vince points that they got David Robertson coming up, which I think will help for sure, as opposed to having to trot Romano or like who was it? The Luke Arcady who does. I think he does a really good job for Crossing Broad, and he has a Phillies YouTube show. I think he's a real up and comer. He's very talented. I like him. But Lazar had some good outings, and people got ahead of themselves because they don't realize that pitching in July in low leverage situations and a lot. I know that he got I know that he got a save or he got a win in an extra inning game, and it was after
his first career win,
right? And Luke had put out there like, I feel comfortable with him pitching high leverage innings in the playoffs, and I'm like, it's like, no, you don't, dude. Like, you don't realize like that is not a guy that you want pitching in an 8th inning of the NLCS. He's not that kind of pitcher. He's probably never going to be that kind of pitcher, but that's not the guys that, and Luke's young, he's 21, I think. So like, no, don't get ahead of yourselves. Like he gave him like six or 7 runs today.
He technically didn't get an out. Well, the only out that was recorded while he was pitching was the throw out to home.
Right. Yeah, which you should have to give that back. It's like, no, I shouldn't even get credit for that.
Yeah, you don't get the 1/3 of an inning.
Yeah, his ERA went from pretty good to 5.11. Gave up 6 earned runs in a third of an inning. Yeah, he doesn't have that many innings, man.
No, I agree, but what was it before?
I'm gonna have to look it up. Hold on, I got a pro baseball.
It had to be above. It still had to be above 3.
Not that far above, though, dude. Let me see. All right, let me see. Should go to his game log. I know this is dynamite YouTube program. All right, let me see.
Yeah, like you said, 1/3 of an inning, 6 runs will definitely smoke you.
2.96.
Oh, damn! So he doubled pretty much.
2.96 was his ERA. Yep, 5.11. So anyway, like I'm totally fine with their bullpen now. Still a little bit concerned, but they shored it up. The reality is that if this offense doesn't click, they're not winning anything. It doesn't matter. This team looks exactly like it did last year. Schwarber hits home runs, they score. When Bryce gets hot, they score.
Trey.
Yeah. There's just like it's stale, man. And unless they have that, the year they went to the World Series, the year they lost to the Diamondbacks before those last couple games, there was a real chemistry. There was a real it to this team. And I haven't seen it since. I haven't seen it since the Diamondbacks, man. I really haven't. And it doesn't look any different right now than it did then.
It's Garrett Stubbs' fault.
Stubby, you son of a bitch. What, did he dive in the pool after the...
Yeah, he was saying they were... Yeah, and he was like, oh, we're going out there to celebrate or something like that when we were up 2-0 in Philly.
Well, you can dive in a pool in AAA because they have a good AAA team this year, the Phillies. Unless they find that, and bro, when you do daily sports radio, you can't say it, but it's the truth. This is all going to come down to how they're playing in the middle of September and going in October, right? The starting pitching is going to be there. They're going to be fine with starting pitching. Their bullpen's improved. I don't know if it's good enough. And you know why I don't know if it's good enough? Because I don't think their offense is good enough. So unless they add a high-impact bat or things start clicking, this team's not going to a World Series this year.
And it's just like, I feel like it's kind of like crazy that the offense has kind of been scuffling of late when it's like the whole offense is pretty much based around Trey, Harper, and Schwarber, like you said. And then but JT's been hot for
been really hot. Yep.
For like over a month now. So how is it that you're adding a 4th guy into this mix and you still aren't producing at the level that you're looking for.
All right, so here's my question. Because I was looking up the Phillies, I was looking up their offense, right? Where would you say the Phillies rank as far as runs? In because like really we can talk about offense and like runs are what matter. I know it can be misleading because if you score 12 runs from one game and then you score 2 runs and 3 runs and 2 runs, you're going to lose 3 games. Doesn't matter, but still, like it's a pretty good bar of how good your offense is how many runs you're scoring, right?
I would say they're the 14th ranked offense or runs per game.
All right, so let me look it up because yesterday, yeah, so it's still the same. 9th. They're 9th
right, whatever.
With 4.68. Toronto is 4.69. Milwaukee's 4.8 that are just above them. So
Toronto's gotten all of theirs in the last, month.
Right. The Yankees are 5.16. They're third. And then the Dodgers are 5.26. Excuse me, 5.24. They're number 1 in baseball. So just to be a top 3 team, they're like a half a run off of that. Like 0.6 runs off of that. So it's like the difference between being the 5th best and where they are right now isn't even 0.2 runs a game. Right. So I guess what I'm trying to like, do we view it differently because we watch every game and we're right? Or do we watch every game and we are so crazy because we watch every game? You know what I mean? Like, I firmly believe this offense isn't good enough. I firmly believe that.
I mean, it's just, what did they do against they just scored 3 runs against the White Sox today. What was yesterday? 4, 5? I don't even remember.
I don't even remember either.
I just feel like they're like they get into these shootout games and obviously they put up numbers and then
no, they went off yesterday, right? That's where they put up the big runs. They scored 6. They scored 6 yesterday.
What did they do first game?
They lost, right? They didn't score anything. Sanchez didn't have a good game. They scored 2 runs in the first game.
4-2 or 6-2, whatever it was. I don't remember.
Right.
I tuned out after Sanchez went out because I was crying about my Cy Young bets. But a whole different story. I just I don't know. I just feel like we watch these games and they pop off and like, all right, they're going to click. And then Harper was on that tear and they still weren't scoring a ridiculous amount of runs.
All right. Who is the leading hitter? Who's the highest average on the Phillies right now? Who would you guess?
Like for the season?
Yeah, right now.
Trey
Turner, 289. Schwarber, 253. But the dude's got was it 37 home runs? Jesus Christ, man. He's on pace to have 55 home runs. This guy, remember it used to be June Schwarber? You see what he's done in July?
Yeah.
Holy hell.
What? 4, 5 home runs since the All-Star break?
Schwarber July stats. I was just looking at it. Today. I don't know. He's absolutely killing it. Like absolutely positively killing it. And like Bryce is streaky. I don't know, man. Like there's something missing. And you know what's missing? It's that Bryson Stott's giving you next to nothing. Rojas is giving you next to nothing. Otto Kemp, how did he had a monster center field home run, that 2 home run game he had against the Yankees.
Yep.
But like even Marsh is giving you a little bit now. I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. When you look at the lineup, like when my friends were in from San Diego and we went to a game, they were talking, they were like, man, I look at this Phillies lineup. He's like, you guys have a bunch of studs from top to bottom. And I'm like, huh? I'm like, we don't look at the lineup like that. He's like, really? I'm like, not at all.
I mean, I guess if you have Bone back in the lineup and you look at the top 5 and they're all clicking, that could look pretty good.
I don't know, man. Otto Kemp.
From outside look, I'm saying with Bone back and you had the top 5, I guess it would be top 6 if JT's hitting the way he's hitting. But it just feels it just feels like you get the top 3 guys going pretty much at the same time, and then no one else goes. And then when the bottom half of the lineup goes, the top 3 doesn't go. There's no cohesion with the lineup.
No, Kevin's right, and this goes back to Dabrowski, and he deserves the criticism because the reason they had to trade 2 really good prospects today and not be able to use that on an impact bat offensively is because he totally shit the bed when it came to what he did in the offseason into the bullpen. Hoffman, I know that there were some teams that were worried about his shoulder or elbow, or I forget what it was, but he failed the physical. But still, Estevez essentially signed an $11 million contract for 2 years and then a club option for a third year. And he's pitched to an all-star level in Kansas City. And you could have signed him, and you didn't, right? You brought in Jordan, is it Jordan? No, that's Bill Belichick's girlfriend. Jordan Romano.
Yep.
And he sucks. Like this guy, we keep waiting for him to be okay. He sucks. And so you have Kepler's barely batting 200. Romano, whose ERA is over 7. They're your 2 impact moves of the offseason. He tried to trade Bohm. He couldn't trade Bohm. He made a nice move with Luzardo, who had a good start yesterday. But they were your 2 signature moves of the offseason. This is what was supposed to make you not stale. And it hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. So we'll see. He's still got time to make a move here at the All-Star before the trade deadline. I'm just not expecting it. We'll see.
I feel like there's no way they don't bring in some kind of bat, but I definitely don't. It's nothing you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm so happy we got him.
Yeah, probably a right-handed platoon bat. I would like to see a move where they move Rojas. They bring up and they have Crawford and then a right-handed outfield bat added to the mix.
Platoon with
right. That could also play like that. Crawford could go over to left field and he could play left field when needed because you have an overabundance of left-handed bats. So to add another left-handed bat like Crawford with Kepler,
Can Crawford be like the left-handed Rojas, like your left-handed defensive replacement? I don't know enough about his defense.
Who, Crawford?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's very good. Yeah, he can play left field. You can put him in left field.
So if you traded Rojas for whatever, like in whatever kind of package, and brought up Crawford,
he's your center field.
But I'm saying like if he's not starting in the game, like 8th inning, we want to take Nick out. Crawford can go in and play whatever outfield position.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, sign me up then, because that's the only thing that's good about keeping Rojas is he's the only actual plus defender that we have in the outfield.
Yeah,
it's just didn't realize he had such a cannon either. By the way, he had 2 great throw out. The JT one the other night was chef's kiss.
Yeah, he's got legit skills for sure. I'm all for it. As long as people realize what you're getting with him. And I mean, there's a real upside to him. There is, but he's been horrible the last couple of years.
He literally he looks like he's lost at the plate 50% of the time.
Well, because they're not throwing him fastballs, they're throwing him off speed stuff. And in a lineup that sucks, they can do that. And if you're hitting in front of a good hitter or you're hitting with runners on base, you're more likely to see a fastball. If your lineup sucks, you're not going to throw him a fastball. So I think he obviously could be better in this lineup. Interesting comment. Dombrowski's been a worse GM than Ruben Amaro. Listen, Ruben Amaro was gifted Ryan Howard in his prime, Jimmy Rollins in his prime, Chase Utley in his prime.
Pat Burrell.
But to your point, Pat was out. Pat was going after the World Series year. He went to Tampa after 2008. He was out. And Ruben's first year was after Gillick. Gillick retired.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, Ruben did have balls. Timmy said that. Yep. Ruben did have balls. And the fact that he was able to acquire Roy Halladay and he acquired Cliff Lee, Roy Oswalt, Hunter Pence, dude liked to make moves. And I love that about Ruben. I always felt like Ruben, and I think a lot of it was his arrogance. And Ruben's actually a really good dude. And he's a real Philly guy too, born and raised. But like he went for the blockbusters and he made good moves. He did. They didn't ultimately win, but don't tell me those teams in 2010 and 2011 didn't deserve, they were better than that 2008 team.
Definitely. I mean, shit. If Howard doesn't blow out his Achilles at the end of what was that, 11 or is it 12?
Yep.
It's like that. Who says that team, that run is done at that point? It was done when Howard went down, like with a bullet.
The guys were going downhill, and Kevin's right on the comment. Yeah. He's right. We all knew it. I think he knew it. But again, like Ruben's talked about it, sometimes ownership doesn't want you to do that. You're selling the ballpark out every night. Do you know how much money the Phillies make when they sell out? Like
didn't they have
now,
like a 500 something game streak or something at that point?
They did. I don't remember what it was, but it was crazy. So also something I saw recently, the Phillies have the highest cable TV ratings of anybody in Major League Baseball. And the
Really?
Phillies, yes, the Phillies are partners. Like they have equity in NBC Sports Philadelphia from that broadcast. So they're making money off the ratings being high, which means they're selling a ton of advertising on the radio. Like, look at what the Phillies ratings are on WIP. And the Phillies radio network. They do great. So people are very interested in this team. So that's why you can have high payroll. That's why you can be in the luxury tax. That's why when they say they signed David Robertson for $5.5 million, they're willing to pay him $12 million for the rest of the season with the luxury tax penalty, because they're making a lot of money. And also because John Middleton doesn't he's prioritizing winning over profit.
I was gonna say that guy wants to win for sure.
But like when you go down and you're more or less spending $100, when I went down with my family, so I have 5, and I did buy tickets on the secondary market, but I got near face value on Game Time. Now, like we spent, a family of 5 all told, $800 easy with the tickets, parking. Yeah, because the tickets were again they were for face value, but not much. But parking's expensive. 3 helmet Sundays. Like every inning we're getting a different thing. Yeah, man, it's not cheap to go. So they're printing money down there. But I am more than happy to if I'm picking teams to give it to, it's the Phillies for sure, and the Eagles too. But they've got FU money, the Eagles.
Yeah, I probably should reprioritize where my money goes for our Philly sports teams, but that's a whole different story.
Burrow went to the Giants after Tampa, right? He signed with Tampa and he was horrible. And that's when they sent him to the Giants and he killed the Phillies with the Giants.
I don't remember. I remember on the Giants. I don't remember Tampa.
Yeah, he signed with Tampa the following year. I'm looking it up right now.
You know baseball way better than me. So
he was in Tampa for all 2009. He batted .221, and then he was batting .201 in 2010. They traded him, and he went to the Giants, and he actually had 18 home runs with the Giants in 2010 and just 341 plate appearances. And then he wasn't very good the next year, and he retired.
They won in 2010, right? That was the streak of every other even year they won?
Cody fucking Ross.
Oh my God, I hate that.
There, Vince said it. Yeah, no, but see, you know what I'm talking about? What I was talking about when the Phillies went to the World Series, the thing that you bottle up, but you don't know how to get it. But when you have it and you bottle it up, you win. The Giants had it that year.
Yep.
They weren't losing games, man. They had Pat Burrell and Cody Ross. Look at that friggin' team. They didn't have a big team of stars and all-stars. They had that catcher that used to Pat Burrell, who's a freak. Was his name Brian Wilson? Like, wasn't Pat Burrell the gimp? And weren't they doing like videos and stuff where he was dressed in leather and he was like creeping around in like bondage and discipline stuff? I don't know. Like that was a really weird white team.
Whoa, that was way over my head. I missed all of that.
Pat Burrell the Machine refers to the nickname given to him by Brian Wilson. The nickname became popular after Burrell was seen in the background of the video, seemingly appearing from nowhere. The incident was a playful prank by Wilson, who later confirmed that Burrell was the Machine. Yeah, so there was some video where they were doing something in the background that was really weird. I got to pull it up here. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Oh Lord. We always end up in the weirdest. We always end up in the weirdest spots on this show.
Yeah, that's why it's good. That's why it's better than my PHLY show. PHLY show, which I'm no longer doing anymore. It's a good segue to talk while I try to pull this up here. No, not a knock on the PHLY show, because I had a lot of fun doing that, and everybody at PHLY and Tyler and all the viewers and everything like that. Anthony, who brought me on, and everything else. I just kind of made a decision. That was like, it was part-time. I was doing an hour a day, but it was really part-time. I was not an employee. I was a contracted player. And yeah, I mean, that was it. Like I didn't have I can't find it. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, like I wasn't a full-time employee. I wasn't getting benefits. I wasn't an employee. I had a great arrangement with them. I was a contracted. I was a contracted person.
Independent contractor.
Correct. So like they did, like I was paid and I was paid very well for what I was doing. But it got to a point where I'm like, all right, after the summer, I have to make a decision. What am I going to do? And I decided that it was best for me to search out a full-time role, whether that's inside of media, outside of media, in media, but like, outside of being in broadcasting, if that makes sense, like not on radio or doing something like this. So yeah, is this the second week? Did I stop working last week? Yeah. So I stopped working last Monday. Yeah. So like, I think by next week I'm going to make a decision. I have a couple of really exciting things that I have an opportunity to do. One is inside media and one is in media, but outside, like not doing the exact broadcasting stuff. So I think I'm definitely leaning in one direction, but we'll see. I have the rest of the week. I'm going to have more conversations with a couple of people. I put out a tweet that was kind of cryptic and confusing to people.
I didn't think you needed to clarify what you were saying. I understood perfectly.
Okay.
I was confused. I'm like, didn't I read this already? And then I went back and forth and I was like, I just had so many people, and I don't know if that was shaped by people that were saying you were fired. Because I don't like, especially with a post like that, I have no interest in what people are replying to it or whatever. I'm not looking at what people are saying. But apparently a lot of people are being like, oh, F you were fired. You suck. Oh, what are you going to do now? Just being overall dicks, which is what people do on Twitter, which is why I don't look. But like, no, this was purely my decision. And I am very grateful. Let me say this about the people at PHLY, Anthony Gargano, Vince Pellegrini, every producer and host and everybody was so nice. And like, I think they do really good stuff, and I'm really rooting for them because everybody is just really, really nice. There's a good camaraderie there and there's a good family feel to it. So everybody was great. Kind of felt bad because I was like, oh yeah, it hasn't been a year, but see ya. But I feel like this is the best move. So I mean, honestly, it's probably the best timing for them anyway, because if they're going to refill your slot, they get right before football season. They get to go right in, end the summer right in the football season. It's probably good timing for them as well.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, listen, I don't think they're going to be missing the 500 views or whatever I got on my show every day. And it's early. We talked about maybe doing it a little bit later on in the day, but like with working in the morning, I was still able to have my kids and not have to pay for daycare. You know what I mean? So it was like, okay, I'm working part-time, but I'm also able to have my kids and not have to pay for daycare. So it like ends up evening out. And like the part-time money was really, really good. Don't get me wrong. But like, all right, if I did it later, I wouldn't be able to do that. So I can't do it later. And we talked about a couple different scenarios, and they offered, they're like, hey, listen, if depending on what you're doing, if you want to come back and you want to do some part-time stuff. And I'm like, all right, well, listen, that's something I'll consider. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but probably next week. Yep. Yeah. Really, really good. I felt really bad with Anthony, because Anthony, when he heard whispers that I was leaving WIP, he got a hold of me right away and he's like, yo, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing yet. And then he really pushed for me to get in the
ball rolling.
Well, because they don't have money. That's why, like, we had to be creative to getting it done, because they don't have, like, they spent their money on what they were doing when they started out. So they're like, oh, let's add another big salary. Like, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
So Anthony was really, really, really grateful for Ant and really pushing to get it done. And it took a little bit of time, but we got it done. So, so I felt bad because I'm like, Ant's like, you leaving me? I'm like, yeah.
I mean, you guys have been like, when I first met you guys were tight as can be. So, I mean, it's, you're going on a friendship of a decade. So it makes sense.
Yeah. You feel bad because he gave you like You leaving me? Like he gets it. He understands. He knows.
Yeah.
But
I mean, he's been in the business for 30 years.
Man, Anthony, Marcus Hayes told me a story about Anthony. Does Marcus Hayes still do stuff at WIP? Does anybody in the chat know? I know Marcus is the guy that always does the story, and the Joel Embiid stuff looked really shitty. But like I think that Marcus does a really good job, and like there's somebody that's got to be the dick in town. And if Marcus is going to be that guy, then Marcus is going to be that guy. But I was working with him. He was like Ike was off, and it was a like a 2-hour show before a Phillies game. So Marcus was doing it with me and Jack. Actually, I don't even know if Jack was there. And just like before the show started, we were talking, and we were just chopping it up, and we're talking about Anthony. And he was like, man, because before Anthony did radio, he was a writer. He wrote for the Inquirer, but he had written for the New York. He was in New York, and he did a bunch of stuff. And I didn't know this about him, but like Anthony isn't his brain. His brain isn't built to be, and he did this, and he was very good at it. Don't get me wrong, but his brain isn't built to be like, hey, I'm going to write about the Phillies. I'm going to be the beat writer, and I'm going to give all these stats, and I'm going to be a robot that does that every year after year.
He's way too charismatic.
He's a features writer. So Marcus Hayes told me that when he left to go to radio, everybody in the newspaper business was like, thank God, because he's so much better than us at everything. He's done the movie script and things like that. Everything in his head is like a movie script, or he's just got such great imagination. He's just he looks at things differently. So yeah, Marcus was like, everybody was like, thank God he's out of the newspaper business, because he's so much better than the rest of us. So Anthony was able to leave doing that, and he's had such a long run in radio as well, and now doing this. So, yeah. So shout out to Anthony. I appreciate you, Anthony. So we will see what happens here. I know Kevin was telling me we should do the Delco Steve and John Marks show every night on YouTube. And listen, I have to pay all the big bucks to Delco Steve, so it doesn't leave me for much money. So we would have to start selling advertising. We haven't done a good job.
We'd have to stop cursing.
I'd have to be on time, which is very difficult to do now because my kids are older and they do not want to go to sleep. And my wife is making shirts all the time. And tonight she was very busy doing it. So I definitely couldn't be like, hey, you got them till 9 tonight. So there you go. Yep. So back to radio. We will see. Could be a lot of different stuff.
Tune in for next week.
Listen, I'm gonna make my decision in my head. When is it going to happen? I don't know that. Still a lot of I's to be crossed and T's or T's to be dotted. That's it the other way.
T's to be crossed, I's to be dotted. I's dotted, T's crossed.
Yes, correct. All right, Delco Steve. I see little Cooper. By the way, Cooper DeJean, 61st on the NFL Top 100. Are you kidding me?
I was shocked by that.
All right, so
I love him, but like I'm obviously a fan, but 61 is a little ridiculous.
Remember earlier when we were talking about sometimes when your boots are strapped in and you're knee deep and you're up to your thighs and it's not good. Sometimes you actually know what's going on, and like with Donovan McNabb. When the Eagles traded Donovan McNabb, oh, what a terrible trade, you idiots! You traded him in division, you fools. And then it's like, no, he's actually done. And we know that he's done. And he was done. Right? Chip Kelly. Oh, you're going to fire Chip Kelly? Done. Doug Peterson, he won a Super Bowl? Done. Right? But with Cooper DeJean, maybe he's a lot better than we think he is. Because this isn't Chase Daniel that's voting on Cooper DeJean. These are players and coaches, right? That are doing this.
Yeah. Yep. I mean,
61st.
But he also did have like a stellar end of the season. Well, think about the beginning of the year. He couldn't even get on the field.
And the defense changed when he came on the field and he started. When he went into the slot. Now, some of that coincidence, yeah, some of it's probably because just the other guys kind of woke up and some of the younger guys started playing better. But like, are we looking at a perennial Pro Bowler here in Cooper DeJean?
I hope so.
At this point, he better be, right?
I mean, for my sake, I really hope he is. If he turns out to be a dud, I'm gonna have a really hard time explaining to my son that I named him after a guy that sucks.
Any worry that this dude's going to have Mike Richards and Jeff Carter syndrome being in Philadelphia this summer and banging every chick down at the Jersey Shore and everywhere else? He's all over the place.
It took those guys multiple summers to go off the hill. So it's okay. We got at least a solid 4 years before we get Mike Richards and Jeff Carter stages of Seattle City partying.
There has been quite an award tour going on here with the Eagles this year.
They've been having a blast. I wish I could be one. It'd be
damn right.
They've been looking like they're having fun everywhere they go.
Dude, Cooper DeJean, good-looking young dude, and here's
breaking up with his girlfriend, cheating on his girlfriend so he can be single.
Holy cow! You kidding me? But you go from 21 years old, you go from Iowa, you slide into the second round. You're this white dude, right? You slide into the second round, you get drafted by the Eagles, and you think you know what you're getting into, but you really don't. And then you come here, and all of a sudden, a couple weeks into the season, you're starting more or less. You have pick 6 in the Super Bowl. Now you're the toast of the town. And you know how Eagles fans are even when you're not in the Super Bowl. We're up in everybody's business. We know who everybody is, right? You're a celebrity in this town if you're an Eagle. And he's a Super Bowl hero now at 22 years old.
Must be nice. It must be nice.
And he could slam on a 12-foot rim. The dude's like super athletic. He's awesome. Awesome.
I'm getting jacked up for football season though, man.
Me too.
I'm ready.
You know what's nice not working in the media right now? I don't have to pretend I care what's going on in training camp and talk about it.
Yeah. I couldn't even I've been hearing so much stuff about how Caleb Williams sucks for the Bears. And I couldn't even imagine living and dying on that every day.
Having to debate that on national TV. Yeah, I know. I've seen some of the videos recently because that's an easy topic that they're going to do over and over and over again. And guess what? Caleb Williams, here's my prediction, right? As we talk about the same thing that the others are talking about. Here's my prediction that Caleb Williams will put up, and I'm not even talking about this year, but Caleb Williams will put up numbers. He will throw touchdowns. The Bears will win games, and they will lose in the playoffs, and everybody will blame Caleb Williams. They will blame his leadership, and they will blame him in big games. And all of it will be true because when you look at USC, remember when he elected not to play in that bowl game at USC and his teammates were happy as hell. They were so happy that he wasn't playing. They hated him. And they ended up winning the game by a lot of points, I think. And they kind of underachieved that year too. So,
they were 7-5.
Right. So I very much think that he is going to be, he's got too much talent. And now they actually have a good offensive mind. Ben Johnson's going to be a good coach. So I think he's going to be good. And I think that he is going to that is going to be the question around him. Can he win the big game? Is he a good leader? I just think it's his nails.
I just think it's hilarious that everyone's so hyper focused on him I think he threw an interception on his first pass of training camp or whatever. It's just he's learning a new offense with guys that have been trash. They've been a terrible organization for 10 years. At least consistently bad for 10 years. And then it's just you're bringing in a whole new offense, all new offensive line. Of course it's going to be growing pains. It's just let him do his thing.
He's going to be fun. And but that will be the
yes 100. Especially if he has was it Thanksgiving last year when him and Eberflus totally just ate shit on the clock at the end of the game, and if he pulls something like that again, oh my god.
Right. But you know what? And what was that? They didn't get a throw off, right? They were inside the 20. They didn't get a throw off into the end zone. What the hell happened?
They were in position to kick a field goal to tie the game.
They had a timeout left, right? They didn't take the timeout.
They had 2 timeouts left, and they let the clock go all the way down.
Clock right out. That's right. Eberflus is such a fool. Yeah, if you can't that was always the thing with with Donovan and Andy, both of them were clueless when it came to time management. Like Peyton Manning wasn't looking at Tony Dungy to be like, do we take a timeout? Peyton Manning was taking a friggin' timeout. He didn't have to look, right? Some coaches, like for instance, Nick Sirianni's very good with clock management.
Yeah, because it's his main job. It's his main
right. Andy wasn't.
Yeah,
Andy got better, but he wasn't.
If Sirianni is messing up challenges and timeouts and just like the general way the game's going with penalties and everything like that, it's a huge red flag because that's his only job.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Sit there, be a cheerleader, yell at the officials and time management. I mean, even Doug was pretty good with timeouts and things like that. But
Doug was
Andy
terrible.
wasn't.
Doug was terrible at challenges. He challenged the dumbest shit on a regular basis.
That sounds like Doug.
Dude, I was at a game. I was at the Monday night game against the Packers. I think it was the year after they won the Super Bowl. And Doug challenged a 1st and 10, 2-yard completion by Rodgers. That was clearly not a catch. And I'm like, it's 2nd and 8 on the R25. Do you think they care about 2 yards? It's just, I think he threw a touchdown on the next play. It's like, cool, glad you challenged, got that whole down back or those 2 yards back to give up a touchdown on the next play.
Right. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Yeah. It's like, if he threw a touchdown and then you challenge it, great. But it's like whatever.
Doug is 100% the uncle that comes to the backyard barbecue and stands around the keg drinking Miller Lite and everybody likes. He wears a visor. He's telling stories and everybody likes him. That's Doug. Doug's a really, really nice guy. He is. He's a good dude.
I don't even want to think about it because I just want to keep hating him. I don't want to think about him being a nice guy.
Doug, nah, don't hate. Why would you hate Doug? They won a Super Bowl, dude. Don't hate Doug.
That's a story for we're not. It's the same thing with Hallie. It's the same hate as I had for Hallie Roseman, but Doug doesn't get to redeem himself because he's not here.
Doug wouldn't redeem himself. Doug, but you know what? Doug went to Jacksonville and they made the playoffs that first year. So
they cost me money because of the comeback against the Chargers. So I hate Doug Peterson. I'm out.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that game, Doug.
Yeah, here's Trevor Lawrence with 4 interceptions in the first half.
Another guy
dancing in the street, and then I lose my bet anyway.
But that's another guy, Trevor Lawrence. You think Trevor Lawrence is going to be a Super Bowl quarterback? Nope. He's missing it, brother. He's missing it. He's not dog shit, but nope.
He's a little prima donna. He's a little prima donna.
Doesn't have it. It just doesn't.
I'm not ready to say no, but it's more so the team than it is him.
No, I think it's a bad organization, but I mean, does he need an alpha coach to you know what I mean? That he needs to show him how to win? I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Trevor Lawrence is what he is. All right, so we started talking about Cooper, and then we got on Cooper DeJean. How's Delco Cooper doing?
Delco Cooper is doing great. We're doing all the things. He's back to birth weight, and he's a little bit fussier lately, but nothing that's been too much to handle.
How old now?
We're 5 weeks tomorrow.
Oh, now what do you have to take a picture with that says he's 5 weeks?
No.
Anything?
No.
Because some people we have the blocks, and we still
did
do it.
We did the 1 month, with the flag, and that was it. And then we'll do 2 months and 3 months, and hopefully we'll be done at 12.
I have every month from every one of my children. So
did you do the same thing, or did you do different ones for all 3?
No, all blocks with their name.
Okay.
You do weeks when they're young, and then you stop. I don't know when you stop after a year. But yeah, my Gianna, she just graduated from the blocks because she's 9.5. So there's, you can only go because
there's no 10
2 blocks. Right. There's no 100. You can't go 100 months. So yeah, we can't do them anymore. So I have my Lena, and then I have Bella. But yeah, we do it every month. And it's like, it's block time, and it's the same thing. They take a picture with it, and then we take a video, and then they shove the blocks off of it, and
then we're done.
We have it, and it's over. Right, it's over. and then we wait till the next month to do it. So everything's good. What's the sleep schedule like?
He's well, I'm getting the best sleep in the house. So I'm just gonna own that one. But he goes to bed around like 11, gets up around 3 right now, and then hopefully she's been having a hard time getting him back to sleep at 3.
Oh,
so that's bit. So I go to bed at 11:30 midnight and get to sleep till 6, and I'm good, and I feel selfish saying that, but just how it's been going. And and she wakes up to do 3, and she kind of gets stuck with them.
But when like you say, he goes to bed at 11, he's asleep at like 7 then, right? Does he sleep like 6? Does he take like a long nap and then he wakes up and eats, or?
So he's kind of been awake between 7 and like 10-ish, and then I kind of feed him and then try and put him down.
Okay.
So he really did. He sleeps more in the morning to late afternoon, and then he's kind of awake. Oh. There's been times where I've had him down here at midnight though, and he's just wide awake. I'm like, bro, it's not bedtime.
Every parent will say the same thing, that like, why can't you sleep at night? You sleep during the day. I mean, believe me, it's nice when they sleep during the day, but when you want to go to sleep, that's why you got to sleep when they sleep. It's the oldest saying in the book for young parents: sleep when they sleep. It's true.
Yeah, it's easy when you're not going to work and sleeping when they sleep.
Right. No, that's what sucks. Yeah. I mean, I used to, when I first was working at WIP, Lena was just born, and I was working nights. And when Gianna was a baby, I was working mornings. So I would come home, or when I worked at night, I had Gianna and then a baby Lena. And so I was getting home a lot of those nights. I was working till 2 a.m. I wasn't getting home till 3, and I was up with them at 6. So, and they did not nap. I refused to take, well, they did when they were young, but when they got to be like a year old, when you're supposed to put them down when they're awake and then they fall asleep on their own, my wife rocked them to sleep, and they would only sleep a half hour at a time when they were napping. So I didn't get any more than a half hour. A lot of times it took longer to put them down than it actually napped. So I'm on no sleep. I'm up with these kids all day, and then I got to go to work, which sucked. But like they slept at night then.
There were a couple days last week that it was just like watching an afternoon Phillies game or like the 4 o'clock Phillies game, waking up and the game's over, and it's just like, what happened? But yeah, overall it's been pretty good. Well, I think the last couple of nights have been rough for Erica, but like I said, I pretty much started back to work full days this week. Yeah. So I've been, getting my 6 hours ish without having issue.
I was working with Anthony when Gianna was a baby, she would sleep from 9 to 2:30. We had it to where I woke up for work 2:30. I would feed her. I'd put her back to bed like 3:15, and then I would go to work, and then that was it. But I like sleeping 9 to 2:30, 5.5 hours I felt great. Like that's all I needed because. Yep.
Oh, if I can actually get in there and fall asleep between 12 and 12:30 and wake up at 6:15, 6:30, I'm golden.
I can survive. Yep. It's for sure.
It's just a matter of actually being able to fall asleep at 12:30.
Now, how have your burping skills? Do you need me to come over and teach you how to burp?
Dude, I think I got all the basics perfected at this point. I don't have an issue getting the burp. I don't have an issue getting them to drink. I don't have an issue. I haven't gotten peed on yet. I haven't got pooped on yet. I need to knock on wood.
The key with giving the bottle is to make sure they're not getting air or too much air, because that's what makes them to where they have to burp, but then they can't get it out. Too much air in there. So I became, especially by the last one, I became elite at burping, and to make sure that I held them up almost like sideways, so they weren't straight up and down. And then they were getting too much air, and they would get sick and they would puke on you or whatever. Nope, my kids didn't puke because I was, I would be like, all right, you're getting an ounce at a time. All right, now you got to take a little break. Take a break. Because when they get a little bit bigger, all they want to do is chug. Slow down.
The recliner I have is like the perfect angle that as soon as he falls onto my shoulder, he burps like right away. It's great. I don't even have to do anything half the time.
Oh, look at that.
I just get him into the position and he just rips one. It's just like, all right, cool. And we're back.
And then what? And then you kind of just hang out with him a little bit and he like sits there and then you start rocking him to get him to go to sleep.
I also Erica found this video on Instagram about how to put your baby to sleep after they finish their bottle. It's like this rub their head, like rub between the eyes, and then this and you just keep going until they doze off. Dude, it's elite. Like sometimes it
works.
I've gotten it to work like 3 or 4 times, and he's been out for like 3 or 4 hours. Like doesn't even make a peep. It's great. It's not 100% success rate, but the times it has worked, it's been perfect.
It's nice to know that Instagram is good for at least one thing. Right?
Oh, dude, I've learned so many things off of Instagram being a dad that I'm just like, all right, like we'll try this. This sounds good.
No, you're right.
That's all my feed is now, so I might as well, learn something.
Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy?
Oh, I can't wait for it to be done. I want to go back to my stupid bullshit sports. People doing dumb things, that algorithm over.
Right.
Oh, here's Dad 101 for the billionth time.
I can't get out of the big booty hoe algorithm. I don't know why every real suggestion to me, I'm like, I don't want to see this.
Pause in 3, 2, 1.
No, but like I want to know how to get rid of them. And like I actually Googled it. I'm like, I don't want to see reels with big booty hoes.
You can you can erase your algorithm in the settings.
How? Really?
I haven't done it, but I've seen it done.
The only thing I read was that it says that you want to go to the video and say like not interested or something.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see him anymore.
Well, if I've also did like where you could like start blocking some of the ones you see like repetitively, and then they'll kind of eliminate them from your algorithm as well.
All right.
Because it's like, who cares if you block them? Like, that doesn't change anything for you.
No, like I have right now, I have baseball and big booty hose. And it's like, all right, I'm not clicking on any of the, like, I'm like looking at it right now. All right. Like, can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah. It's just like, come on. Like, I literally don't want to see it. I'm not clicking. Stay away. No.
Dude, my algorithm I get like the randomest algorithms all the time. Like, I had a stretch last month that it was all like cricket, like the sport cricket. I'm like, okay, I've never
Would you click on one profile or something?
I have no idea. But I got spammed with 1 billion cricket videos. It's like, but whatever.
Anyway, because now I'm looking at there's a bunch of Hulk Hogan stuff on here. Hulk Hogan died. Was that last week now, I guess?
Yeah.
We got to wrap it up here anyway. But
him and Ozzy back-to-back days.
Yeah, that's right. Like Ozzy, I had no reaction because I didn't listen to Ozzy at all.
No,
other than, I mean, really, when the Osbournes came out, when he became like a big star. But like, yeah, like whatever. Ozzy Osbourne.
Dude looked like he's been dead for 10 years.
I posted a picture. Did I ever show the picture on here?
Let me see of you and Hulk Hogan.
Not me and Hulk Hogan. Hold on. It's did I have? Or you know what? I can probably go to my tweet and do it. It was from October of 1984. I went to the Spectrum with my Uncle Tony, and we were the first row of the second level. And I went back and I looked at the card to see what it was, and to see like you could see every match that was on it. And it was the Hulkster. Is it share? Yep. It was the Hulkster against Big John Studd, my middle name Mud. There it is right there. He didn't even have the yellow tights on yet. The Hulkster. It was before the yellow tights. He's still wearing the white tights. He was relatively new. He was the champion. He was the world heavyweight champion. But still, he was so that was 1984. Hulk Hogan against Big John Studd. I found the match, and I don't know what happened, but Big John Studd easily kicked out after 2. And they said the match was over anyway. So I think the referee screwed up and gave it a 1, 2, 3 when he wasn't supposed to. Because Hulk Hogan didn't give the patented leg drop. He pinned him on a clothesline. But he kicked out after 2, but the ref went 3, and then the bell went off. So I don't think I don't think he was supposed to win on that move because then, and Big John Studd had a big gash in his head. It's back in wrestling when they used to cut their forehead with a razor blade, and then they would be bleeding all over the place. The Big John Studd was bloodied.
You think they would have it figured out since it's all scripted?
Well, it was 1984, so maybe they, at the Spectrum. But they used to have those matches. They would play them on Prism. Are you old enough to remember Prism?
Vaguely.
The Prism, if you don't know, was before Comcast Sportsnet. It was how you'd see the Phillies and the Sixers and the Flyers, and they would have movies and the Great Sports Debate and things like that.
Because I remember when Comcast Sportsnet came around,
and when Comcast Sportsnet started, Prism was gone.
Yeah,
but yeah, so they will on like a Sunday afternoon. They didn't do a live. They would show like months later. Because I saw that, and you would see it on Prism. They would show the card on Prism with what was his name? Killer somebody. Killer Cal Rudman was like a local guy that was like a big wrestling guy. Uh-oh. I think that signifies we have to leave. All right, one thing before we leave. I found the machine thing with Pat Burrell.
Oh, okay, great.
There you go. And it definitely
took about 35 minutes.
Well, you just have to go through it. It's definitely exactly what I remember. Here it is.
That it's cruel to do. Whoa! Hey!
You see it?
What the? Yeah, I see it.
How do I go full screen with? So that's Pat Burrell in the background. Let me continue.
That's creepy. There you go.
What was that?
Was what? Dubs?
What was that? Time out.
Dubs?
What was that?
What?
Cruel to do. Whoa! Hey!
What?
You can even see it's Pat for sure. There he is. So that's how the Giants won the World Series, by having a bunch of nasty white dudes. Oh,
there we go.
All right. Well, Delco Steve, that's how you'll remember this night. Pat Burrell in a leather thong.
So can't wait to go to bed to that with that in my head.
Pat Burrell's wearing a gimp mask, by the way. And Brian Wilson's pretending he doesn't see what it is. What a bunch of dirtbags. It's unbelievable. All right, man, go get some sleep.
All right, brother. Can't wait to see your decision next week.
Yep. Could be DoorDash. Could be.
Nah, at least do Uber Eats.
I got to start making money somehow. All right, they changed this whole thing around.
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Why can't I find it? Is it banners? No.
Media assets.
What the hell's that? Oh,
under banners.
All right, you can play us out then. All right, everybody. Later. Get some sleep, Douglas. Steve.
I will.